Shalom uvracha, chodesh tov, Chazak, Chazak, v'nish chazek, as we will say tomorrow, as we conclude with the fourth book of the Torah, when completing the readings of Parshas combined, Matos and Mas'ei, and we begin at Mincha with the book of Devarim. Also today being Rosh Chodesh, Menachem Av, it is the Hilula of Aaron HaKohen, and it's written, the Rebbe says, that on the day of a Hilula of a person, their Torah is revealed openly in the world. So what was the Torah of Aaron HaKohen? And what do we have to learn from this? First, a small story. This week, I had the pleasure of meeting with a very, very nice young man. He was with a group of people. They were dining at a kosher restaurant, and it's a trendy kosher restaurant. All types of people go there. I noticed he had a Magen David on, so I took the opportunity to introduce myself and ask him. And I asked him, I said, would you like to put on tefillin if you haven't already put on tefillin today? And he looked at me, he's like, what? I explained to him what it was. He goes, no. I don't do that. I don't have time for that. I go, do you have a minute? We'll talk. And I noticed he was standing there and he was telling me that he doesn't really believe to do this or not ready to do this or whatever the situation was. And of course he believes, but what is the situation with it? I noticed he was holding a very nice cup of coffee in his hand, kosher coffee with kosher milk in it. So I asked him, I said, how about another mitzvah? You see what you're holding in your hand is a kosher drink. I said, do you think the milk that came from the cow that's in here and the bean from the coffee, the plant that it grew, if you make a bracha on this, it actually elevates and does a very big favor for the cow. And it actually does a big favor for the coffee bean. And he's looking at me like I'm a little bit strange. He says, it's also going to elevate the place where you're standing. And this place may have waited for many years for you to come by and make a blessing here. Your unique blessing, your unique individual role in the world, just to bring the holiness to this place. And he even looked at me like I was more strange. I said, I'll tell you what. I know you have to go in a minute. If you just make this quick blessing, this quick bracha, it will even taste better. I rolled the dice here. So he repeated after me the bracha, shakol, and he took a sip and his eyes opened up. He looked at me and goes, wow, it does taste better. Why did this taste better? I told him. I explained to him very gently. Because now your neshama is tasting it. Before, your animal soul was tasting it. The story is not about whether somebody is to do a mitzvah or don't do a mitzvah. The story is about we want to help somebody do something. In the same sense, they're not ready to do such what they think is a big mitzvah. So if they can do a smaller mitzvah and bring them into it, this is truly the expression of love for your fellow Jew. This is true Ahavas Yisrael. And back to the Parsha and the day of the week, Aaron HaKohen, his entire Torah was love of a fellow Jew and love of people. It says, Aaron was a pursuer of peace and a lover of Torah and a lover of peace. And he would go after people and bring peace to people. And he brought peace into the world. And he would even make a Chazak with it. As we can see in the blessing of the Kohen, the Barkas Kohanin is in 3 stanzas, 1, 2, 3, which also represents a Chazaka. And a Chazaka being also the Parshas put together. We have the Parsha of Matos, which is a dry stick or a stick or something separated, which is not connected to its source. So there's no division in it whatsoever. It's in a very stable place. It doesn't have a way to move or oppose. And we also have the Parsha of Mas'ei. Mas'ei means to travel or journey, which is already in opposition. That's the second thing, because now there's 2 things. And the Rebbe goes on to say in the Sikha that the traveling even weakens us in such a way. But when we have something that becomes to a chazaka, the level of 3, it's beyond opposition. And we see through our journeys and what we're doing to elevate our avoda of elevating the world and refining the world, this is what gives us our strength and our chazaka. I want to wish you all a wonderful Shabbos. Of course, even before you light the Shabbos candles, even before you prepare to get ready for Shabbos, we should all go hand in hand to the Beis Hamikdash HaShlishi, which is already built by Hashem and will descend immediately into Jerusalem, hand in hand together. Mashiach now.